Let's quickly go with, again, welcome Gerald, Mr. So Fresh.
Good.
Welcome Poundz official. We'll see you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So first, let's quickly start with some good points. Again, highlights of the past week, guys. I want to know what's really good with your previous week. What's the highlight, man? Doesn't have to be nothing big. It doesn't have to be something small. Just what was a highlight of yours from the last week? Anything. Let's start with G.
Yo, I mean, Kanye announcing that he's running for president. It doesn't get bigger than that, really. Like,
he did that 4 years ago. You just reaffirmed it this year.
Yeah.
it's just a bit more. He's just a genius marketer, isn't he? Like anything that's just gonna promote and hype, he's just good at it. But it's funny. What was the tweet? We must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision, and building our future. I'm running for president of the United States, 2020 vision. And then Elon Musk replies, "You have my full support."
You know, they're both the same person, bro.
Yo,
no one gave them any hope of making it this big, and they both just blew out everyone's expectations.
You see a picture of them?
Yeah. All I was looking at was the boogers, bro.
Oh yeah,
Elon Musk wearing kicks that look like the whip that he designed.
The
4x4 he designed.
that collaboration would be serious though, Kanye and Elon on whatever.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Whether it's skateboards or scooters or Teslas or whatever, man. Sneakers.
The things we're all laughing about Kanye for president, but you just have to look at who's in the White House now and think that he can do it.
Yeah,
man.
You know, I was thinking though, I was thinking when I read that, I was thinking this guy is so unstable, for them to put him in that position, like he might just do something mad, like, and we're all done for, like.
You say that, but they've got Trump right there right now. No one's more unstable by this guy, you know.
I hear you.
No one's more unstable by my man tweeting a group of people that said white supremacy, and he was like, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear them say that. So yeah, bro, man, we're living in strange times right now. Well, yeah, that's big though. Kanye for president. That was a big highlight, man. That is big. What are you saying, Poundz?
My week, bro. It's been a long week, I'll tell you that. It's been a very long week. I ain't really been on socials like that. I've been checking. I see this Kanye thing, whatever this that. But I started doing this photography thing, the 30-day challenge.
Okay.
Like every day, like, there's a list in it, and every day you gotta go on a list and see what you got to take a photo of, innit? And
that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah. Today I gotta take a picture of something orange, so I got my little notebook. Gotta find a way to make that look good. But yeah, man, that's it really. Apart from that, there was the KIF release of the Air Force Ones.
Oh yeah, those
Japan stuff, the launch, My cousin lives in Japan. I'm all asking him, I'm begging him, I beg you, please go. He's like, nah, bro, I can't make it. I'm gonna be down there Sunday though if you want me to pop in and grab it. Like, it came out on Saturday. He's like, do you want me to pop in and grab it on Sunday? I'm like, bro, it's like it's gonna sell out in like a second. And now the resales on them is 2.5 bags or something like that.
Yeah, those are cold, bro.
So yeah, that's
even the friends and family one that I see DJ Clark Kent have. Those ones are the ones.
Yeah, they came out. Where did they come out? In New York.
They came out in New York, yeah, but they recently, like, is it 3 months ago or something?
Yeah.
Recent, but they look hard as well, though. Keep doing big things, man.
That's it, really. That's been my week so far. Just those 2 events, man.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, mine's just like, what's it called? Frozen 2 came out on Disney Plus, so that's been keeping me going.
I ain't even seen the first one.
You ain't seen the first one?
Nah, they're good.
It's cold, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I say Frozen 2 is cold.
Cold, bro. Them tunes there, you know. I'm telling you.
Man's got all the merchandise in that as well.
Just that life will change you up real quick.
I hear that.
But yeah, that's blessed though. I love that.
You know what else this week?
Productive weeks.
You know what else this week? Yeah, have you not been seeing this Lidl hype? on the little garments.
Yeah, that's
Those-
interesting.
Those little, what's it called? Huaraches.
I thought, oh, it's a dead thing, like just a bit of banter, and then I saw a resale pair for £200 and something, bro.
Mm.
And I was
That's-
like, what? The hype's really catching up. on that.
Who's actually behind it? Is it actually Lidl or is it just someone who's just like, let me...
No, it's literally just a little pair of crepes, I think it is, because it was taken in the little shop, innit? And someone's just like,
and then it just got hyped.
and then everyone's like, what? Lidl trying to do Huaraches out here, like, and then
Yeah.
everyone started doing their little twist to it, like, started getting like kicks with like same color Lidl, but the actual little pair, yeah, I saw it for like £200 something, and I was like, what? Like the hype caught up.
That's genius marketing by them, because I see who else done it? Those IKEA had a little run of having those like IKEA themed Nike.
But you see the IKEA thing, wasn't the IKEA thing like people customizing them? No, people.
Yeah, that was just people customizing.
This is nuts because it's them releasing it like for a company that does groceries to release a pair of kicks, and now they're reselling for $2 something like.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
It's just how culture gravitates to whatever, right? You know.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when people would make those like music videos, like £1 fish roll, like Lidl.
Yeah.
I don't know, like so anything can just pop off randomly, like
You're right.
as long as people gravitate towards it. But
they've already been the Sainsbury's Adidas collab that went under the name of what's the Beyonce?
Oh yeah.
Called again? Something Park.
Ivy Park, but that's just getting trolled. That's just
that's the Sainsbury's uniform if I ain't seen one in my life.
Have they got Sainsbury's in the US?
Huh?
Have they got Sainsbury's in the US?
Nah, they ain't got nothing like
Oh,
that.
so they wouldn't even know what we're banting about. Like they're just like, yeah, these guys are lost it. Like, what
That was all of UK doing the bants with that. But yeah, man, even moving on from, not even necessarily moving on, just a quick segue on to what we're going to talk about today in regards to the big brands and the streetwear collabs. We touched on this last time, I think, but what's your thoughts on the Dior's? Did you win? I can't remember if we spoke about this last week, but I don't think we did. So what's your views on like high-end brands jumping onto the streetwear bandwagon, and what brand do you see next jumping on the wave and releasing their own collab?
Did any of you, man, win any of the Dior's?
Bro, I didn't even enter.
What?
Yeah, I was going to. Then I thought it would be there. You know, usually raffles are there for like 5 days or so. So I didn't even give it a second thought to actually check. And I was just being lazy. I was just like, I'll just check. I'll just deal with it another time. Then boom, it was over.
How about you, Gerald?
Nah, man, I didn't even know about it.
Man,
Nah, I didn't know at all.
oh my gosh. Hold on. The whole of my family and extended family entered under me, and all my brethren entered.
Did any of them win?
Not even one of my brethren got it, but I just like he was entered on his own thing, and he ain't even a trainer, man. He don't even care about trainers like that.
And he won.
He won, bro. His mum won.
Oh my days.
His mum's going to the boutique or whatever, like to go collect it.
Yeah. If you go to that release day, I guarantee you see enough moms, dads.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Well,
My grandmas and that coming through, like.
Yeah.
So are they actually like wearing it, or are they going to resell?
Nah, he don't really care about it. As long as his kicks are fresh, he's not really a kick man like that. So so I know what's gonna happen. So that comes sale.
Listen, yeah, I'll be like, what's that again? I would say like 70 to 80% of people that might win, they're gonna resell.
Yeah, I think you know that Franklin, the king of trainers.
Yeah.
Funny, I just flicked through it lightly, but he was getting some backlash about. I think he must have made a statement about, yeah, they're good for investment purposes, like in the sense that if you was to get a pair of them or however many pairs of them, yeah, they're like 18 bills or 16.50, yeah. And he was saying it's good to invest your P's and Nats, because then obviously when you shot it, they're going for like minimum 10 or something like that, innit? They're going for a good price anyway. And I think he was getting some crazy backlash or something like that in the comments saying, we got to cancel him, like this dude's like, he's ruining something to do, like ruining the sneaker culture or something. Do you know what I'm saying? It's getting mad smoke for that. I was thinking, bro, like everybody isn't thinking that. Who's thinking, I need this pair, this pair to, like, there's a very small percentage I'm saying just for, do you know what I'm saying? If I'm telling you, I'll give you 15, 16 G's for a pair of kicks that cost 18
People are
bills.
hitting because if a man's got the capital to buy as many as he wants,
Yeah.
he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
And again, what I don't understand about the backlash in terms of like, oh, he's reselling. That's not reselling. If he's buying it off you,
Yeah.
that's not you're the reseller, not him.
Yeah.
He's not selling it. He's buying it off you.
I think this goes back to your point that this whole question thing that you made, yeah, is that did anyone actually want it for its purpose? Like, because they're like a pair. I think about 2 months ago, before we all heard about it, didn't a pair that's similar to it come out, and it was just a plain Nike pair?
Yeah, just on the walls.
And it's like, okay, so
We got
one
Irfan
for
here.
18 bills, and that one.
Yeah, finally. Sorry.
No worries, bro.
Blessings, bro. Blessings, Irfan.
Pound, how's it going, brother?
Just Irfan.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I 100% agree with you on that. Like, if I won, I would have kept them.
I would have as well. I can't
The
lie.
thing is,
Because
I would have kept them, and I wouldn't even rock them for like 3-5 years.
no, longer.
I'm gonna keep them fresh. So when I actually rock them, it's just like because that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna rock them, but I'm gonna wait. They're just crispy clean when I bring them out. But that's just me anyway. But
No, I think that's the case. But most people,
yeah.
if you're a proper like trader collector, I would keep them, knowing that the worth on them will always be something crazy. Yeah. So as long as they're in my collection, and maybe 10 years down the line, I'm in a position where actually I don't even need to sell them, man, for that kind of bread, then I'd wear them.
That's it.
And then I'm like, yeah, nah, mate, don't really need that. I can, you know what I'm saying?
What is saying.
Not I grab it today, it's worth 20 G's, and I'm like, nah, I'm okay, mate. Still buying. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, still working every day. I'm like, I'm alright. Like,
They've been a kit of pair of trainers that released and resell for that much straight away.
yeah.
Straight away, bro.
You're right.
It hasn't.
You're right. It's crazy.
Is this about the Diors or what?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You win a pair.
You know what, Pound, to be honest, brother, I didn't even enter the raffle.
See? I told you, it's like me.
No one here entered, loud.
I didn't even enter, man. But yeah, I personally think everyone who possibly didn't even enter, they had slim chances of winning because there were only 2,000 pairs, I'm guessing, for the high tops. Was it 8,000 for the high top?
Or maybe it might have been 8,000 altogether, but it was 8,000.
Yeah, slim chances, and even then you got people backdooring and whatnot. So
the problem as well, there was 5 million entries in it. Like, it was minimum 5 million anyway. 5 million entries, bro, and that many pairs, it's nuts. So I told him, my budget that, like, for him to get a pair, wow, like he really does something special.
You actually know someone who
it's my dude, like he's my guy. He always like, you know what kind of bread he is? He always enters raffles, just for resale purposes, like every now and then. As long as his kicks are fresh, he'll just wear like white Air Forces or whatever, and he'll grab a pair, come to me, and be like, I managed to get this. Like, do you know anything about the kicks? And sometimes they'll be popping, and like sometimes it'll just be he entered a raffle for a pair of kicks. He could have walked into JD and bought.
But that's the climate now. That the kick game has completely changed because before when I first started getting into it, I was seen as a weirdo. People was like, "Why are you always wearing different kicks every day? Why you got so many kicks? You only have 2 feet. You're weird." Like I used to get that type of backlash, you know. Seriously, but it's just changed now where everyone's into it. Even if you're not into it, you're into it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just want to get a kick because it's a quick flip. Like these releases, it goes against sneaker culture, I think, due to how much they're selling for. The culture wasn't created for the super rich. Yeah, it wasn't back in States and that, where man them used to be slinging rocks or whatever, and they used to come out with the freshest gear. Yeah. That was just the game. I remember I can't remember what film it was, but then I was even peeping game from my big bro where he'll use a toothbrush to clean his kicks. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all from old school. And I just think that this release goes against the sneaker culture in a way, but then it goes in terms of capitalism. That's what it is. 100%. Yeah. He's gonna capitalize on the hype that's going on right now, and that is big collabs doing something with Nike, and it's limited. Like the people that really deserve to have these kicks are not going to have them. Someone that's been collecting Jordan 1 for 20, 30 years might not get his hands on these pairs.
I think there's definitely like the sneaker culture. Obviously, I don't know how old all of you are here, but I'm definitely old school when it comes to age-wise. I'm nearly 30. So when I see that, when you say it's kind of affecting the sneaker culture,
you say you're old school, you're nearly 30. You young, bro. You young. What you talking about?
But when you say like it's a bad rep to the sneaker culture, I still see like more pros than cons to how the sneaker game has evolved from days when I was in high school I remember I used to wear the kicker tops in high school. I don't know if you remember them, but they weren't really classified as sneakers. But at the same time, you see the sort of principles that these 14, 15-year-olds are queuing up, entering these raffles, and then they're learning principles that you don't necessarily have a curriculum to learn that in school. You can't learn that in school. How you flip, or how you can invest £100, £200, invest that into a raffle, flip it to 1,000. So those sorts of pros I see as advantage rather than saying, oh, this is tarnishing the sneaker culture, which it kind of is, because people are in it for the short-term gains, which is just to make profit. They're not really in it for the love of the sneaker or for the passion of collecting that particular sneaker. Like, so I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons, but then it's everyone to his own opinion. Like if you're a die-hard collector and then you want to get, like, for example, I don't know, what Air Force was it that just released? The one at the Kith store in Japan, yeah. So like, that's limited. So you could only have got that if you're in Japan, but then you've got people proxying, you've got people making money from proxies, and it's just like, you can only get something if you kind of know someone nowadays, or you're kind of in that game where you're in it for the profit at the same time as being a collector as well. So that's my 2 cents on it. I definitely, I don't like how everyone's kind of following the herd. Like, you got to be a part of something, you got FOMO, oh fuck, I need to get this. And you're not really necessarily getting it for the love of the sneaker. You're just basically getting it for either the likes or to make a quick flip. But then I feel like even if you're getting it for the quick flip, there's still more pros to it, because if you're 14, 15, you're learning key principles to reinvesting that money, saving that money. And it's also giving different sort of opportunities where they don't have to do something that's illegal. You know what I mean, boys? I think it's definitely more
so
pros.
You're comparing it to those kids in school who used to like buy chewing gum and flip it.
Yeah, it's not even that.
Sainsbury's banner.
It's not even necessarily just that. I just feel like it's a better kind of option that people have a choice with this whole sneaker game. If you do like sneakers and you do enter these raffles or you do enter these hype drops, you actually have a chance to do something which is an honest, legal way of making money. You have that opportunity, and I think that definitely outweighs any con in terms of like the sneaker game. I don't really see myself that much as a sneakerhead too much nowadays, to be honest. But even then, anyone who I would see as an OG sneakerhead, I would tell them, look, even though you might feel like the sneaker game's changed, it's evolved, you still got to kind of see the pros to it, that it's giving the younger kids the opportunity to have that option in life. When you're 14, 15, you don't need to be like doing stupid fuckeries. You can actually probably make more money in the longer term and networking with better people in the longer term, rather than then doing something by splinging on the corner road or doing fuckeries, you know what I mean? So I personally see more pros to it than cons on that side.
A lot of these guys like Kanye and Virgil talk about how just like that passion of wanting the sneakers and not being able to get them, like drawing the sneakers and that kind of creative element, like being inspired to just draw sneakers and create their own designs. It's interesting how that also is an aspect of, you know, inspiring young people.
Definitely, yeah.
know the
Well, that's what I'm saying. The urge of wanting a pair of kicks and not getting them is what everyone you sort of love that about the game. That you're just like, yeah, I really wanted these. Then when they re-release and you're a few years older now, you could finally buy them. You could finally bid for them and so on. So I think that type of love is almost is there, but it's not what it used to be almost, because if we're looking at just your example, 14, 15-year-old, you don't need to be selling kicks to get money. There's like, you can't even work it, and there's a reason why you can't even work it. So that's for people at home to hopefully look after you. But I get what you're saying, as in,
I just see it as them learning like good principles in investing in something, making profit, reinvesting, rather than them learning something in business studies or economics classes for GCSE. You're not going to be learning that when it's more hands-on. That's the only kind of point I was trying to make.
Yeah. I get that.
I don't like that, but at the same time, I think it's really good because of you know, with the kids that Irfan was saying, it's not so much that the actual buying and selling and that, what I think is how much they can make. Like when you deep it, as a 14, 15-year-old, there's bare 14, 15-year-olds, and even when I was about, I was doing stuff like you said. They was in school, they was buying multi-packs and selling it, whatever. But imagine they can buy one pair of kicks and make 2-3 bills. Now what happens is that after a certain amount of time, they find themselves in a position where actually, you know what, this entrepreneurship that I'm going through, or this business sort of mind that I'm getting off this, it can work better than me having to go into possibly like a retail job at 16, 17. And for you to get that, now I don't like to a certain degree, I'll be rude with you, I don't really like resellers, but there's two good things about them. First of all, I can't knock a man's hustle, innit? If that's what he's doing, as long as it isn't something crazy that's like affecting people mad, like. But the second thing is that availability. Sometimes when it's hard for me to get a pair of kicks, and I really want them, and the resale ain't that much, it's like a bill more. It's like, you know what, bro, if it wasn't for this person, I wouldn't have got that, So I can't knock that, but that's general on resellers. But as Irfan was saying, these youths are actually making some good money, bro. I know some youths that are making some mad money, of these, and I'm not talking of these hyped like Dior, even just normal day-to-day kicks. People have transformed their lives completely because of this. And to think, that we was gonna buy kicks anyway, but now someone can actually live a life of this. It's not that bad. But
I feel it's interesting that you bring up that point, because you're not taught what the capitalist system means in school, right? It's almost like go to school, get your education and bounce. But you're not taught anything about how the world works. And, you know, at its core, what values you really need to get. And once you're living in a capitalist system, you have to understand that, you know, certain industries is where the money goes. Where, you know, look at where we are now with this kind of coronavirus situation, where certain industries are going to die. Like, you kind of have to understand that, okay, cool, the sneaker industry is popping. That is having that capitalism mindset to be like, this is where I can make money. So you can't really fault kids for taking that initiative and being like, I love this, I'm gonna make money from it.
Do you know, it's another thing as well, Gerald, just very quickly, like if I was just to imagine a week for you, a week of a 16-year-old, and in a week, that 16-year-old was able to make £200-300 off a flip of like 2 pairs of crepes, or even let's say he made like £400 a week, off it, What that then does, is that his week where he would normally be working at that age where everything's just like you're looking at everything as a possibility in life, it's like you can find yourself going into anything. So what you see most of the time is, and it happens a lot, is that young people, they come into the sneaker scene, or they come into the creative scene of like media and stuff, and they find themselves selling sneakers, but then they make so much peace that they actually find something else that's completely non-related, and they go off into it, but they was only given that time and the chance to sort of look into that field because they was financially free at that time, because it's so easy to live within your means at 16 with making that much peace. So it opens doors that maybe where I would have been working in retail for like 4 or 5 days a week, imagine I would have just made that money off trade flips, and then I look at my future like, what's I got my possibilities now. If anything, I'm making enough bread to invest now. At such a young age, to be given that, you can even flop then, and you're still early in your life. You get it? I get you. But another thing, very quickly as well, Irfan, remember you said about the kid thing, yeah? No, I think it was, one thing that they're taking away from us, is that the first KIF that released with the one that Clark Kent was all putting up and whatever, it was nice, but I looked at it and I was like, okay, whatever, yeah. Then this one, I saw it and I thought, oh, this is really nice. But they released the concept Japan, like the picture with it, yeah. And Ronnie Figs' thing behind it was that he was saying, yo, like when these was dropping in Japan, it was so hard for me to try and get a pair, and it was like the hunt. You know what I'm saying? He was looking. So he was like, I've made these, a certain amount of them in a certain store only, and one day they're gonna release, and that's it. And at the end of it, he was like, enjoy the hunt. And it's like, my thing should have been of like, oh, like I'm gonna try and race to get this pair, but right now I can just open my phone up, man. I'll go on StockX right now and just with 2 bags, I'll be like, boom, buy it, and it's coming to my front door. Where's the hunt in that? Where is that? It's now we're talking about the wealthy can only have kicks. 2 bag 5, bro, for a pair, like just deep.
But Pound, you got to see, like, you yourself personally, you've got that sense of market knowledge where you could look at that sneaker right now as 2 bags, and there's other sneakerheads who might be looking at the sneaker on StockX right now as we speak, and it's what, 2 bags, 2K?
Yeah.
You're still seeing that as it being undervalued. You know what I mean? It all comes down to, again, those principles that you can learn as a reseller or as a non-reseller, regardless. That kind of plays maybe into the hunt as well, Pound, because you're looking at this sneaker and you're thinking, raw, like this sneaker was so hard to get, and it's only 2K on StockX right now. This could potentially be like, this could probably be that 20K Air Force One like the Dior is right now. Do you know what I mean?
But so you know what? You know that, like, I get what you're saying, and you're right, yeah, because I'll see it and I'll be like 2 bags, but then in my head I'll be like, actually, at any time I can try and get that 2 bags back, really and truly later on down the line. But I'll give you an example which backfired really bad. The V-Lone Air Forces, yeah, I remember I had them in hand outside the nightclub store. Yeah, if you go on my Insta to the picture, whatever, they got sold, whatever, and time passed. This accusation came, and whatever happened with what's my man's name? On Instagram, Young Lord. Anyway, you know, yeah. So that happened, and boom, the price just went like that. Now, where does that justify that? The hype that pushed it to that price, but now life events have just taken away what I wanted for that kick. Now, I probably would have bought it for a back for saying, if worst comes to worst, I didn't get bumped because I can sell them, and if someone offers me a pair for cheaper, then I've just, you know what I'm saying? But now I've just lost everything because of the hype. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying, and it does sometimes add value. Sometimes what it does, it deters people as well. So like now, most of the people in here, if I said to you, Brad, like if I gave you 2 bags Saturn now and said to you, you have to buy 1 pair of kicks with it, you probably wouldn't go for that pair, would you?
Nah.
I'd probably diversify and probably go for like 3 different pairs at 600, which I think are undervalued.
Exactly. Someone who really likes that pair though would be like, this is my opportunity to get that now.
Yeah. But it's crazy how sneakers nowadays, like that story you just mentioned where he had the accusations, how that can have an effect on a sneaker's price. It's just insane, because something like that would never be happening 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And it's just crazy to see like a sneakers market price.
Isn't that just showing the era we live in, where everything...
Yeah, it's insane.
Before you came on, we were talking about how, you know, people have scandals and it creates hype, and it still, you know, doesn't really affect the brand. If anything, it propels it, because there's more awareness, there's more, you know.
Yeah, like even if you look at when what's his name, Yeezy announced the collab that he's doing with Gap stock prices shot up like 30% on that same day. So it's insane to see, like, in the world we're living in right now, where news has positives or negatives to the effect of what it can bring to that particular product or brand. It's absolutely insane ripple effect. Like it's just mad.
And even like, that's why even when Tiger Woods had all his scandals, he didn't lose any of his branded deals, did he?
No, he got a car. I can't remember what car company did, but they sent him a whip. They still sent him a whip. So yeah,
bro, nothing changes your style more than age, you know.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm not sure if you remember me from back in the day, George, but I was all about like color. I used to wear like matchy. I used to match. I used to look hard, but it used to be like mad colors and that. Now it's completely. I'm like I like things simple. Like Irfan said, like simple, minimal things now.
That's it, man.
That's and comfort.
Yeah.
My main thing is comfort.
You look like people like Pharrell, but it's almost like their style hasn't really. They've always like maintained the quiet like hybrid, you know.
Now Pharrell's changed. His style has changed. He used to be. Remember Pharrell back in the day? Pharrell he used to
man baggy jeans, crazy chains, like
he used to go crazy with his bait.
It was colourful, but
P-days.
I get what you're saying though, Gerald. Like there was that stage that Chris talking about where he was moving nuts, yeah. But then, like shortly after that, it's just been so consistent in looking neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it still follows him until now. Like he hasn't
wore that hat.
Yeah.
He changed.
Crazy. But you're still seeing him rocking in shorts and a colourful ass shirt, like, you know what I'm saying?
He's kind of slipping back slowly into his skateboard P days.
Yeah.
So yes, again, that I forgot one of the other questions we had, Gerald, lined up. But what brands do you think have done well during the COVID-19? Because I was speaking to the guys when we first when I got where now Nike's got a station where you could go into the store and you just tell them what you want and they go and get it.
Got to book the slot, nah?
Huh?
You got to book the slot, I swear.
Nah, this is where you just go into the store and you speak. Like I got an email about it and I read into it and I was like, wow, that looks quite cool. Where you go into the store, so you don't have to go in and get anything. You go into there and you tell them like, yeah, I want a grey Nike hoodie and some Air Force Ones, black UK8, and they go and get it for you.
Yeah. I saw that, but I said when I saw it, I clicked on the link here that came to and it said book your slot online, and you pick a slot.
So you book it.
Yeah, you book a slot between a certain hour, and you just roll up there. There's two people standing on like a box desk thing.
That's it.
And you literally just say to them, yeah, I need this. They bring you everything, and you just stand there. Yeah, that kind of. Well, moving on, I don't think it will work, but for the situation, I think it works out better. You know how you go to get something, man, you can even go to get milk and you end up 20 minutes. Go for shopping. I've been Westford a couple of times and it's like, man, I'm out here like queue like that, like for 10-15 minutes. Like I'm thinking, do I need these socks?
Times change crazy because as soon as that lockdown lifted, I remember I went shopping as well and I saw a queue outside Primark that was going around the building. I'm like, why are people buying clothes when they're not going to work? There's no club. Everywhere is closed, bro. Like you're buying brand new garments to wear in the house. Everywhere is closed. So yeah, it's crazy. But that's what I was thinking about. Like
consumerism is still in our DNA, right? So that's not gonna like go away quickly. So it's the brands who can adapt and use this new digital sphere. I mean, I saw one. This girl who done a fashion show, and it was like a 3D virtual reality fashion show.
Yeah, she didn't use like models and that.
Yeah, like
I saw that.
PR, great. You know what I mean? So again, it's like, how do you do things new? How do you do things in a way where
something new that we've always been doing?
Yeah. So that's where it's going.
Well, like I said, what we've seen now is, I don't know about you, but the rise of the, what's it called? The home personal trainer. Where I just kept on seeing adverts after adverts of like personal trainers in the house just doing all these things. I'm like, bro.
There's one dude, and I thought about it and I saw it and I thought, wow, man, that's good, man, but that must be a bit like, is it even working? So what I did is, you know me, I just went on I went onto his thing, and I calculated, how much he was charging to sign up to it, how many people would actually sign up to it. Bro, the brother's making like 15 bags a month.
No way.
Wow.
Off an hour a day. Like, obviously, it's an hour a day because there's so much that goes behind it. And props to him because he really, really made it work. Like, if I could look at one business model during this COVID situation that I feel as though was really good for a single person to be a, you know, like obviously I used to work in the gym, so being a PT, it is hard, man. Building your reputation and your name and everything. For a man to go from, he had a bit of hype to him, but he literally just went boom, like, honestly, like, so what he did, he done the concept of making a different Insta, and you pay monthly. It's such a small fee as well. If I said to you £15 a month, bro, you're like, what, £15 a month for a whole? Okay, so you're like, first of all, that's got me already in it, 15, 16, maybe you say £20 a month, yeah? And then that £20 a month, you had like 1,700 people, or something, 1,700 people, yeah? Wow. On that Insta, yeah? And it's like, he does his video, so he's gonna work out anyway, yeah? He's a really fit guy. He's gonna work out anyway, even if he isn't, it's his job. An hour, everyone joins the session. He leaves the session on there if you can't make it for the live session. And so obviously he must be paying one person to just go through and make sure that everyone that's paid is whatever. But he doesn't have that many followers for it to be a major job. And that is how you maximize off this thing, bro.
Did he kind of, is he just using Instagram as a platform? Or
just Instagram, and he's got a website. Obviously, you sign up to buy the thing, and on the website, and great thing, like, there's so many shoot-offs to it. So in the actual workouts themselves, he does a lot of weighted workouts. So what did he say? He got weighted vests manufactured himself with his brand on them.
Oh shit.
He's like, yo, buy my thing, yeah, I'm making 50 of them, or I'm making 100 of them, and that's it. But when we're in the workouts, you can use a backpack with water in it, whatever, but this would help. And it's like, yo, if I wasn't killing it off that, that's coming in as well, man. You might as well just tag along as well. tag along into that bank account as well.
This COVID-19 thing is let you know how entrepreneurial people could be. I've walked around like my local area and I see like little pubs now that's turned into takeaways. I'm seeing like people that are probably lost their jobs and they're now doing like fancy face masks. Like, it lets you know how entrepreneurial like human beings are, and I love that because
like you have to be creative. Like, when you've got, you know, situations where the odds are stacked against you, right?
Definitely.
For all of us, and I don't know if it's just me, but you know, even when I'm out and about, and okay, so basically, so when I work night and I come home in the morning, sometimes there's a lot of people still out and about in 8 a.m., 9 a.m. in the morning, and the vibe is just crazy. Like, normally everyone's walking around like robots, and we're all just like doom and gloom, It's literally, I'll be like, sometimes I'll cycle, and I'm cycling, and I'm literally just looking around, and I'm seeing, like, I'll see in a row 8-9 families walking, 8-9 parents with their kids going out, and this and that, and people in the park, and like, it's broken what has been cemented into us, that it's just slave, save, home. You get me? It's broken now. Like, people are doing stuff that they've always wanted to do, and it doesn't even it's not a major. It could be something as simple as going to the park.
You kind of you kind of had a chance to just sit back, pause, reevaluate, and just be like, you know what? Family matters. My
people are just generally happily. I'm generally more happy. Like, exactly. Like, even someone walking down the road, it's such a little thing, but you could just see that they look more relieved. Like, it's nuts. It's crazy, and I feel like this is like as bad as the whole situation is. This is what everyone needed, and now when we're coming back, people are coming back to their grinds more positive. Coming back like, yo, actually, this ain't the limit. Let's we've just had a chance to refresh. There's been a lot of bad to it. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of people have been touched in such a good way that. It sounded like this was like, when could you ever be able to just tell the UK, everyone stop, we're gonna chill?
100.
First time in my lifetime. First time in my, and the thing is what's good is that, especially like, I've got little ones and families everywhere. This is like, I already know this is the most time I'm ever in my whole life gonna spend with my kids. In my whole life. Think about it. In my whole life, this is the most time I'll spend with them. And that's for a lot of people. Imagine, like, I'm lucky that they're still young. Some people, they've got like teenagers, and there's like, this is the most I've ever spent with my teenager in my whole life. And they're like, they're finding new things about their kids they didn't know, that they love their family time. And that's one thing I miss about it. And as well, to be honest with you, I miss like during the peak of the lockdown, did you not see a change in the environment? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's been talked about.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything.
But does that now mean that there's opportunity for society to reevaluate, and was even the concept of a working day being 9 to 5, does that need to be, it's just people who decided that? Is it stuff working from home where everyone's talking about?
I mean, the working from home thing's the big thing.
Yeah.
Like, for certain companies, they don't really need their offices, and it's like, imagine, obviously when I've seen office prices and sometimes they can go up to something dumb, man. Like when it's a big team, 10,000, 11,000 a month, just deep 11,000 a month. They're thinking, hold on, we just had these all out of the office and everything got done, and everyone in a way feels a bit more happy that they're at home. You catch one or two people. You know what I find with a lot of my friends that I talk to is that the people in their companies that are a lot older don't like this concept of working at home. They hate it. So my brothers are all working from here. They're like, oh, we love it. Like, man, I can wake up whatever time and just make sure I get the work done, whatever. And then he's like, but my manager's giving me bare like old people hollering at me because I'm sort of tech savvy, like to sort of be like, oh, how do I upload this file and this, and how do I connect my printer at home to my current work? And he's just like, these people are like, we need to be back in the office, so I can't do this anymore, sort of thing.
You better evolve, son.
You still there?
When do you think we'll go back?
I don't think there is going to be, like, I think this is the new normal for a minute, and I think for our sort of generation, like I'm talking anyone who's not older than 40, you got to worry about not just getting it for yourself, but my fear is not me catching it. I'm confident that I can probably fight it off with my immune system, but then the fear I have is passing it on to my niece, my nephew, the older crowd, the ones who won't be able to fight it with their immune system. So that's my fear. That's the only sort of fear that I have when it comes to this sort of virus. And then even then, I feel like with this second wave that we're predicted to have, I feel like that's just potentially just going to happen because of people becoming restless. Like we're just getting fed up with the consistent repetition of the news. Like, oh, cases have gone to this number, and now deaths have gone to this number, and the thing that they're doing with the death, the recorded deaths. So let's say you had pneumonia, or let's say you had cancer, but you test positive for COVID, they will record your death as a COVID-related death.
Yeah.
Which is very silly. So let's say you had a car crash and you're pretty much dead once you get to the hospital, but then you test positive for COVID, they'll record your death as a COVID death, which is very wrong. And that obviously creates the fear to increase amongst us even more, which is something you have to kind of question what we're getting in terms of the information from the news. Is it even that correct where we should be this scared? You know what I mean? And I think the only sort of things you should be thinking about is if you're healthy, just worrying about passing it on to people that you care and love for the most.
Yeah,
that's the key one. But then even then you've got other viruses where people die more from flu and a cold on a yearly basis, but then COVID is just that sort of new virus where they have to kind of put it out there on the media like this.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, to kind of wrap up, like I feel like we talked about young people and entrepreneurialism. I feel like this is a serious time. I think about my cousins who are like at uni, and you know what I mean, like the young ones coming up. It's an interesting time for them, and it's how do you now adapt for the future? Jobs that now need to pivot to try and get how education needs to change.
There's opportunities out there. There's opportunities out there.
If we need to start, teaching kids how to flip sneakers, then
Yeah, I'm telling you.
So be it.
I'm telling you.
I tell my little brother that he shouted me saying he wanted to get a job in it, and I was telling him, look, like, just cool off for a bit. I said, let me just start off this media thing that I was telling him about. And I was like, I'd rather just give him an opportunity there, because where he's going to be is just going to be a dead brainer sort of for him just to make a bit of change. Whereas in this time and age, really, like, there's so many opportunities to be starting something yourself. I just tell him, get into something you like, bro, because what you're doing now ain't necessarily going to be the one paying the bills. And you know what I'm saying? So if it flops, if it goes high, if it goes down, if it whatever, it doesn't mean nothing. It's just about experience. And like Gerald said, I think it's up to us, to anyone underneath us, to now actually feed them into what's coming right now. So whereas before we might have been doing it and it might have been a certain way, like, yo, get your education and make sure you get a good job and go into something you like, but at the same time that it's going to be a good career for you. Now it's like, yo, so many things happening. Just give them the tools to just say, whatever it is you're thinking of, just fly, just do it, whatever. Just push. Even if it's something that's not going to make bread, just push. Because at the end of it, it's character building. You get me?
Yeah. Straight. That's it, man. Cool, man.
Good guys, man.
Let's up. Until next time.
Yeah, so wrap us up.
All right, sounds good, man. Appreciate it, boys.
All right, y'all. It's time to go get this orange pick.
Take care. Stay safe, boys.
Stay safe, people. Bless. Love.
Stay safe, man.